If you are thinking about buying a home in Kamloops, waiting until spring might feel like the smart move. But what if I told you winter is historically one of the best times to get the absolute best deal? In today's video, I'm going to break down the real numbers, the psychology of sellers, and why winter buyers often walk away ahead of everyone else. Hey everyone, I'm Scott McDowell with the Kamloops Home Team. I've helped buyers navigate every kind of market over the past 19 years. And today we're going to break down whether it's better for you to buy a home in winter or hold off and wait until spring. Now, both seasons have major advantages, so depending on your situation, one might be better for you than the other. All right, so let's get into this. Let's start with winter, because this is where the hidden opportunities usually are. First, winter is historically offers some of the best prices. As we move into December, January, and February, demand naturally drops. Fewer people are moving, fewer buyers are actively out shopping, and the lack of competition creates a little bit of a softer pricing. So on top of that, the sellers who typically list in the wintertime usually have to sell. So this is one of the biggest differences between winter and spring. Winter sellers are awfully dealing with some things like job transfers, estate situations, they're looking at downsize, maybe they're dealing with a separation, or maybe they've already bought their next home and need to get this one sold. So these aren't your casual sellers that are on the market. Typically, they're more motivated, hopefully they're a little bit more realistic, and usually they're open to conversations that benefits a little bit more both sides. And motivated sellers almost always tend to lean to better outcomes for buyers. So how do we find some of these good potential deals? One of the first things to look at is listings with higher days on market. As we head into winter, the listings tend to last a little bit longer, and when a home's been sitting on the market for several weeks or even a couple months, sellers start to feel a little bit more of the pressure. Typically, they start to be a little bit more open for negotiations. They're more willing to discuss things like a little bit longer subjects, potential upgrades, potential price adjustments. They're far less likely to hold firm on their price. So definitely, you're definitely starting off your negotiations from a position of strength. Another thing to look for is vacant homes. Vacant homes can be a little bit tougher to sell in the wintertime as well. So when a property's been already sitting empty, the seller might be a little bit more motivated because they're paying two sets of mortgages, carrying costs, taxes, insurance, utilities, and that adds up quite quickly. Vacant homes are often priced a little bit more aggressively, and sellers are usually willing to negotiate a little bit more than occupied homes. These homes typically are ready for quick possession, so if you have some flexibility with your timeline and you can offer quicker possession, you might be able to negotiate a little bit of a better price off compared to a little bit of a longer possession. Now, one of my favorite strategies in winter is buying now and moving into the springtime. You get all the benefits of the winter pricing, the motivated sellers, less competition. You can write an offer with a little bit of a longer possession date. Now that means you avoid the hassle of moving in the snow. You get to settle into your new home when the weather gets a little bit better. You're essentially getting the winter pricing with the spring convenience. Now, it is true that winter inventory is a little bit lower, but in many cases that's actually an advantage. The homes that are listed over the wintertime are just people casually testing the market. They're serious sellers who need results now. So even though you're not choosing from hundreds of listings, the ones that you do see are typically priced with intent. So you're dealing with some motivated people, not just that let's see what happens sellers. Now on the other side, let's talk about spring, because it definitely has its own benefits. In spring, the supply opens up, more homeowners list their property, more neighborhoods the neighborhood starts showing a lot more options. If you're looking for something a little bit more specific, maybe a certain layout, certain street, certain style, spring gives you a lot more options compared to the winter time. If you want some choices, spring is the king. Another spring benefit is a better home inspection. Without the snow on the ground, the inspectors can see everything more clearly. From the foundations, the grading, the landscaping, driveways and retaining walls, to decks and of course roofs. Nothing is hidden, so you get the clearest, most transparent inspection in the process. So spring definitely offers that. Moving in spring is a whole lot easier. Let's be honest, nobody enjoys moving boxes or furniture in -10 in the slush or on icy driveways. Spring simply offers better weather and a smoother moving day overall. Looking at homes in spring obviously eliminates surprises when it comes to the curb appeal. We get to have a chance to check out the lawn, the garden, the trees, the fencing, the irrigation system. Everything is exactly as it should be when you get to move into the house. Nothing is buried in snow, so if you want the full, true condition of the house and the outdoor space, spring is definitely your season. And of course, the homes with the beautiful yards, the pools, the mature landscaping almost always wait to list their home in spring. These homes show their best when everything is green, the pool is open, and the yard is absolutely alive. So if you're shopping for a home with great outdoor space, spring is usually when you have the most opportunities and properties on the market. So which is better, spring or winter? It really comes down to what you value most in your purchase. If your goal is value, negotiation power, and taking advantage of motivated sellers, then winter is a fantastic window of opportunity. But if you do prioritize selection, outdoor appeal, and a smoother inspection and moving experience, then spring might be the ideal time for you to buy. If you are planning to make a move within the next 6 to 8 months and you're not sure exactly which season makes most sense for your situation, reach out to us anytime. My team and I are helping buyers like you every single week figure out the right timing and strategy, and we'd love to help you out as well. All my contact information is below, and I'm always just a call or a message away. Thanks again. We'll see you next time. Bye now.